welcome to Newport Living and Lifestyles, the art of living well. My name is Bridget Sobey and I'm a realtor with Mott & Chase Sotheby's International Realty right here in Newport. And I am also a full-time mamapreneur.
And quite the mamapreneur you are.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Kristen Gibson with Liberty Title and Escrow, a national real estate law firm with a local presence. And my friends and family have dubbed me the Social Director.
We'll be discussing ways to live fabulously here in Newport on both an extravagant budget as well as a more modest budget.
Everything from housing, restaurant, events, health and wellness, upcoming grand openings, and things for you to do on an extravagant level and on a modest budget. And on special locations for the C and B scene.
Here we are at the historic Vanderbilt Grace Hotel. It's a top luxury boutique vintage hotel.
It's one of the very few homes built in the 1900s to operate for guests as a fully functioning boutique hotel with a lavish spa and both an indoor and outdoor pool.
And not to mention the rooftop view is to die for. Today's episode is extra special.
Why is it so special? I'm here on every episode.
Don't be silly. It's extra special because it's an extended housing segment, which is always my favorite topic. It's so special, in fact, we decided to bring in a secondary expert in the housing division to sit in on the show.
Welcome Jennifer Nunes of Province Mortgage. Come on down.
Hi.
Hi. How
Thanks
are
for
you?
coming on the show today.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I mean, one of the reasons we really connected with Jen is because she's so fantastic at highlighting local businesses. I feel it's something that's super important, which is what we're all about. And I feel like it's probably contributed to your success. Would you agree?
You know, we, being in the smallest state of Rhode Island, you'd be very surprised how much impact you can have on growing local businesses. And I do pride myself on helping others, and it has contributed to my success. And I love what you ladies are doing because you're doing just that. You're doing the same thing.
Thank you.
We're all
Thank you.
like-minded.
Yes.
So how did you get started in the mortgage industry?
Well, it's funny. My husband and I purchased our last house in 2012, and at the closing table, the mortgage advisor said, "Can you please give me your resume? You either need to be a lawyer or you need to work for me."
That's a
And
compliment.
I believe that.
laughed.
I believe that.
Everybody laughed, but I think, you know, he just appreciated my tenacity, and you know, everything that I've done on the other side of the table, actually, I carry over to my business. So just being thorough and you know, connecting with people, it's definitely something that he noticed, and I'm happy that I changed companies and I'm home now at Province Mortgage.
Fantastic. Now, I know you're super busy, so how do you manage a work-life balance? You seem to do it so effortlessly.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
It is, I
No, really, I mean, I think that being a successful entrepreneur and a family member, it's very important to kind of time block, really, was one thing. But
Yes.
I think that, you know, I don't work the typical 9 to 5, and I think that my clients can appreciate that because they're parents too, and they
Yes.
need me on the nights and weekends, and that gives me the ability to have that very special dinner time with my family and then get right back to work afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me, what is your favorite inspirational or educational book?
Well, I'd have to say that audiobooks are the best way for me to go. I'm not really sitting
That counts.
snuggled up with a blanket
That
right
totally
now.
counts.
Not if you're working on the computer later today.
Yeah, but one of my favorite books I would say is The Miracle Minute. It definitely taught me to ground myself in the morning and take that time for yourself before the day starts, before the kids get up. And it's just 1 minute that really can set the tone for the rest of the day and carry that momentum throughout the rest of your day and your work week.
Absolutely. Well, I can't tell you how excited we are to have you sit in on this housing segment. It is Newport Living and Lifestyle's pick of the month for house. This month it is 165 Poppasquash Road in Bristol. Now I know, ladies, it's not in Newport, but it is so fabulous that we had to make this one the feature.
Absolutely.
It's only 20 minutes from Newport anyhow. Let's take a look at 165 Poppasquash Road in Bristol, Rhode Island. The home has been designed for both family living as well as entertaining in mind, always with the waterfront remaining as its focus. The location of this home is quite special. Nestled between Providence and Newport, each only 20 minutes away, and the proximity to Boston only being a 40-minute drive, makes this a desirable location as a refined East Coast getaway. 165 Poppasquash Road is just minutes to eclectic shops, fabulous restaurants and museums, and just a short stroll to the Bristol Yacht Club, Cold State Park, and the East Bay Bike Path.
So, if someone is looking to sell their home and it's not as turnkey as Papa Squash, our next guest is one you need to meet.
Absolutely. Lynn Shore has over 20 years experience in the design world, and she's been featured in magazines such as Architectural Digest, Design New England, even HGTV. So many accolades, too many to even mention. Please welcome Lynn Shore to the show. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, how are you?
Very good.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, can you tell us, what is the value you bring to the realtor?
That's a great question. A realtor, when they put a house on the market, their goal is to get that house sold as quickly as possible.
Yes.
The problem is 65% of the buyers are visual, and if they can't see beyond other people's stuff,
Yes.
or they see something old and decrepit, they don't have the vision as to how it could possibly be. And what turnkey design can bring to that is to show a virtual remodeling of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Also to get the seller and the buyer excited about it.
Yes.
And I can also give the buyer the actual realistic cost of what it's going to incur them when they buy the house. So if they want to buy a $200,000 house and they have $100,000 left over, they know exactly what they could do to spend on it. Plus, I have all the contractors that are fabulous that could come right in and get the job done.
And make it turnkey.
Blink of a moment.
Make it turnkey.
Exactly right.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's legitimately the difference
Yeah.
between a sale and not making a sale.
Even on my aspect, helping somebody with a renovation loan, that your service is really, it's knocking it out of the park. That's great.
Absolutely, because one of the things is you don't want your client to get in over their head.
Absolutely.
And if they know the exact cost of what it's going to be, then they know what their return on investment will be, and you'll feel more secure with providing them the loan.
Yes, that's amazing.
So if you're looking to refinance your home or obtain a mortgage, please contact our girl, Jennifer Nunes at Province Mortgage. She's fantastic and she'll certainly take care of you.
And if you're looking for a virtual remodel to help get that home sold, do yourself a favor, your realtor a favor, and call Lynn Shore.
Absolutely. As you may or may not know, October is our official birthday month.
It is, and so what is better than having your own chauffeur?
Absolutely. We hooked ourselves up and met with John Olinger down at Rockstar Limo and spent the day finding a little bit about what makes his business so special and why is he so big in Newport County. Let's take a look. Hey John, thanks for having Newport Living and Lifestyles down here at Rockstar Limo headquarters. I'll have you know the best limousine service in all of America.
That's quite an achievement. Tell us how you got started.
Just got started 13 years ago myself, and just kind of fell into the business and ended up buying a bus on a whim and didn't really realize I was in the limousine industry at that point. And 13 years later, 55 vehicles later, we're definitely in the limousine business.
Absolutely, that's amazing. Very impressive.
And in more than just the limousine business.
We are. I mean, we have a corporate division, AOT Global, that services over, we say, 600 to 800 cities around the world. So it's
that's quite impressive.
It is. We do a lot of airport work, a lot of corporate executive travel, and then obviously the Rockstar division does tons of weddings. This year we'll do probably 2,500 wedding reservations.
Wow.
So we keep hearing a little bit about this concierge service that you guys offer. Is it true that you guys can plan our parties for us?
Sure.
We would love that.
We're having one right now.
Yes.
On the Rockstar Limo website, we have all sorts of cool packages and ideas to use our vehicles with. There's people in the office that, if you tell us what you want, we'll plan it, we'll make the reservations, we'll kind of custom tailor your night.
Can't get better than that.
No,
Tell a limo
that's
company
amazing.
and they plan your party.
There's some fun things on there to do.
Very
Absolutely.
unique.
So in addition to that, you guys have amazing technology. Tell us a little
We
bit
do.
about what makes your company stand out.
We do. Well, our technology has really been the focus for us in the last few years. We have to, we're trying to stay relevant with all the great technology that's available to, every customer around, that's using services like ours, or just, your iPhone can do everything. So we're trying to make sure your iPhone and interacts with our software or your Android device, and basically when you book with us, you're going to get GPS links to your vehicles, you're going to get pictures of your chauffeurs,
Absolutely.
text messages, whatever you want. We can give you as much or as little information as possible. But it's basically, everybody wants real-time, on-demand information, and that's how we've set it up. So it's all at your fingertips when you book with us.
That's incredible.
Now tell
I'm
us
ready.
about the range of your automobiles. Is it just standard limousines and a couple of Hummers, or is it much bigger than that?
It's much bigger than that. I mean, we really have a vehicle for every size event, every personality, if you will. A lot of our cars are just regular livery black car sedans and SUVs. We have Sprinter vans made by Mercedes. We have motor coaches. We have 9 trolleys. Party
name it.
buses. We have Gronk buses.
That's what I wanted to talk about, the Gronk bus.
buses.
Tell
Everybody
us
wants to
about
talk
the
about the
Gronk
Gronk
bus.
bus.
Very
Yes.
cool.
Rob Gronkowski, he owns 2 party buses. It was his lifelong dream to own party buses. He, fulfilled that like he did so many of his other dreams. And, they went looking for a company that knew how to market them and knew how to sell them. And that, we stumbled across each other and been having a lot of fun with it.
Well, every time I book airport ride from AOT Global, I have amazing service. The people on the phone are incredible. They show up on time. They're professional, and it's an amazing service. So
Well, thank you.
I want to
Thank
give
you.
you that
We put a
compliment.
lot of emphasis into training all of those folks, the office staff, the chauffeurs, everybody.
It's no wonder that you guys have been named the best limousine transportation in America.
Well,
Cheers.
thank you. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers. So tell us a little bit more about the technology with AOT Global.
So a lot of what we do under AOT Global is airport pickups all around the world. So access to information, the technology is key. All of our vehicles in the Boston and Rhode Island markets have these iPads in them, and this is what our chauffeur sees. And a lot of stuff is easy on here. This is a trip for me that they put in. With a touch of a button, you get the name sign, and they take this into the airport when they pick up the passenger.
Oh, wonderful.
All the mapping is on here. Right here it says status, flight time change. So everything,
Oh, wow.
is one touch, one button. So we're not having to have our chauffeurs call into our office and talk. Everything is, they can just press a button. So once our customer's in the car, they just click customer in car. And our office knows that. A lot of times customers are calling, did
Right.
Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so get picked up? It's all right here. Just one click to the maps and it takes you to real-time mapping directions for the client and where the trip is going to be.
Can you type in the coordinates to Vegas?
Absolutely. It's
Let's
going to be
go.
an expensive
Let's go.
trip.
I'm ready. After an awesome night on the town like that,
A great way to rejuvenate is to visit the Bodie Spa for the much talked about water journey.
I didn't know what the water journey was all about before we went there. Did you?
I've been there before, but I will agree, not many people understand the full depth of what the Bodie Spa is.
So we took a trip and we braved putting on our bathing suits and we
Me
met
too.
with sister owners Harmony and Cedar to find out a little bit about the water journey and what else they have to offer down at Bodie Spa. Let's take a look. Hi Harmony, thank you so much for having Newport Living and Lifestyles down to Bodie Spa today.
Hi ladies, thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Our viewers are very anxious to know a little bit more about you and your business.
Sure.
Can you tell us what the name Bodie means? How did you come up with it and does it have a special meaning?
Absolutely. We thought long and hard about what we wanted to name this really special kind of sanctuary that we were building. And it's kind of a two-part process. So Bodhi is a fig tree, and it's a fig tree that is over in India that the Buddha was meditating under when he discovered enlightenment.
Wow.
We felt that after going through the water journey and doing all of this contrast therapy, taking some time out for yourself, maybe you'll leave feeling a little bit more aware and awake of your own personal body and your own personal space. So we liked the way that that name kind of played off of each other in that aspect. And in the other side of it, it reads body to a lot of people.
Yes.
And we really are a body spa because we focus more on the inside health than the outside kind of beautification, which we have a lot of great places that do that in Newport. We focus on getting healthier from the inside, and we feel that you'll be glowing on the outside if you can do that.
Tell us a little bit about hydrotherapy. How does it work? What are the benefits?
So hydrotherapy essentially is the act of applying water in different states to your body. So it can be in ice form, it can be in a liquid form, and it can be in a steam form. And we have pretty much all of those forms going on here, except for the icy. Our cold plunge is only 55 degrees, but it does kind of get
I was a little worried about that. I was a little worried about that today.
It does still get the same kind of physiological responses happening in your body. So, and it really enhances the circulatory system. So all of the heating elements dilates your blood vessels, gets more blood and lymph circulating throughout your system, and then the cold constricts everything and it shunts it through your core. And by doing that, you're just basically speeding up that detoxification process that you're already doing naturally. So it really is like running a car on really high efficient fuel, you know, when you can increase that circulatory system, get rid of the waste and bring fresh oxygen and nutrients to your cells. So that in a nutshell is the best benefit. So we start you out in a warm bath. So it's your body's natural temperature, it's 98 degrees.
Yeah.
That has Dead Sea salt in it, so a different element as well added to the water. It's going to be great for skin softening. Then we have the steam room, which is 113 degrees, but it's a wet heat, and that's really great for decongesting. It's also aromatherapy, so we move you from the steam room. Then we take you from there and we have you plunge in the cold plunge, which is 55 degrees. And as I was saying before, that's going to constrict all the blood vessels and get everything flowing a little bit faster through the core. After your cold plunge, we move you into either an infrared sauna or a traditional sauna, which is a dry heat. We have the two versions because one doesn't get quite as hot, but you get a deeper sweat, so it's good for heat-sensitive people. Of course, now you're nice and hot, so we'll direct you to a cold plunge again, and then your final transition is the 104-degree Epsom salt pool.
Wow. Well, how long does the water journey take to complete?
If you were to do it as per our recommendations, which we do recommend, but we also say follow your own body's physiological responses. If you're too hot, speed it up a little bit. If you want to stay a little longer, no problem. But I would say it takes about 45 minutes from start to completion. We highly recommend doing a little relaxation time in the Zen garden, much like after a yoga class. We want you to absorb all that great stuff that you've just kind of been experiencing, and then go back and do it again. And I also recommend choosing your own adventure at that point, just following the contrast therapy, you know, idea of following your heat with cold.
Wow.
What are some of the other items that you guys have to offer, other services that you have to offer outside of hydrotherapy?
Sure. So, you know, a really wise consultant said to me, if you're going to do a spa, make sure that you have other things to offer. Make sure you've got a nice menu, because a lot of people have different, you know, wants and desires when to come to the spa. So we essentially have everything that you could possibly want. I feel we have body treatments, slimming wraps and mud wraps. We have nice facials, a great organic line of facials, and a non-organic line that packs a little bit more of a punch. We have massages as one of our best sellers as well, so we have some of the greatest massages, I think, in Newport.
That's a plethora of things to offer, for sure.
We have so many things to try.
I know,
Wait.
right? We might be here all day. Well, thanks for interviewing with us today and
pleasure.
letting our followers know a little bit more about Bodhi Spa.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much. Nice to have you.
Thank you. The spa was amazing. I feel 20 years younger. Do I look it?
I can see definitely why people frequent there weekly.
Thank you. So what's going around town in Newport this month? Anything exciting in October?
Yes, the Bowen's Wharf Seafood Festival is always delicious. In fact, Coastal Magazine named it one of the top 10 best fall festivals on the coast.
I love the Bowen's Wharf Seafood Festival. It's under a tent, it's right on the water, there's great music, and it's all local restaurants and local fishermen.
Yes.
Can't go wrong with that.
No. So it's mid-October.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
14th and 15th.
Yeah.
11 to 5. And it's free admission, so you can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
No. Let's get stuffed on Steffi's.
Woo, I'm full.
So this month is Halloween.
Oh, yes. I love Halloween.
I know. And so this month at Newport Vineyards, there's a carnival.
Wait a minute. Do you mean Carnival?
Ooh, you do. So it's October 27th.
Yes.
From 7 to 11, again, at the Newport Vineyards.
Oh, that's fantastic. They're having a lot of things going on there. What are they having?
They have a DJ, they have a costume contest,
yes.
They have fortune-telling machines,
Ooh.
circus performers.
Prizes for best costume. You said that right?
Absolutely.
Oh, what do
Yeah.
the tickets cost?
$55.
Easy. What are you going to be?
Wait and find out.
Ooh, they're going to come down and see.
That's right.
Fun. Before we close out, you know, Kristen and I always like to feature a charity, and this month we've selected Lucy's Hearth.
Lucy's Hearth serves homeless mothers and their children.
Absolutely. Their mission statement is to provide programs and services where they can encourage self-sufficiency in order to achieve home ownership.
It's very important in our community, so if you'd like to contribute, please visit their website today.
Yes.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Yes, we'd like to thank Lynn Shore from Turnkey Designs and Jennifer Nunes from Province Mortgage for joining us here on set for our special housing segment.
Yes, and John Olinger of Rockstar Limo and AOT Global for getting us to and from all of these fabulous events.
Yes, and Harmony and Cedar from Bodie Spa.
Our girl, Kristen Blanchett at Curl Up and Dye.
And lastly but not least, we'd like to thank the Vanderbilt Grace for hosting us here in their beautiful location in the conservatory.
Where they have it is a town warm, but they also have
warm.
an amazing rooftop view.
They do.
It's a must see.
It's absolutely beautiful here. And of course, as always, we'd like to say if you know anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please contact me.
And if you need any legal services or representation with that purchase, please give me a call today.
Thanks very much for joining.